Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird ball pocket world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This scene takes place as a number of kindred are about to step out into the Dublin nightlife from the Elysium at Proper. There you go.
So Charlotte has Ray by her arm, walking her out of the Elysium to her car. She
Uh,
opens.
Once they get the
Hmm?
door, she's like, "Oh wait, I should put on a face." I should.
Yes, yes, you should put on a face.
Um, Weird.
Yay! She will open the passenger door for you. Uh,
And she gets in, and she kind of swings in a little bit again, still a bit inebriated from the rum.
and Charlotte will be getting behind the wheel. She is your designated driver for this evening.
Uh, as I guess they're driving, she kind of blurts out, "Wait, where are we going?"
We're gonna go meet some Setites, 'cause I feel like it.
Wait, what?
I feel like perhaps sitting outside near where the cars are parked, enjoying a cigarette on top of or at the end of a long ivory stem. It's probably a good place for Madeline to be when that's said.
Is she like just out in the open so we would see her?
She was sitting near the exit, smoking
Okay.
because she has decorum and she's not going to smoke inside. She's not some sort of savage animal.
You also can't smoke inside in Ireland.
Also, that it's against the
Mm.
There,
law.
there you go. Um,
So
so in that case, Charlotte will walk up to you, and this is only your second time meeting Charlotte. I'm pretty sure I've described my character to you before.
mhm.
Okay. And so she's dressed pretty nicely. She's got like a really nice um tight dress on, heels, stockings, etc. Her usual getup. And she says, Madeline, would you care to join us? We're going to go talk to the followers of, or to the we're out in public. She's not gonna say that. We're gonna go for a drive. Do you want to come with us?
I think I heard something from your friend. Are you going to dance among some snakes?
Well, that's the general idea. Not sure that I've ever met any here, and so I figured, you know, why not? Could make for an interesting evening.
How much planning have you put into this, my little
Oh, none.
Charlotte?
Oh, none. It's very whimsical.
Seems seems to be fairly par for the course. And your dual-faced friend here
She's
gestures
new.
over at the new blood.
She's very very new. And has had a little bit too much to drink, I think. But I think she'll
I
sober up pretty soon. Ray, this is um my cousin.
Madeline will stand up and offer out her hand. Madeline Badu Rebillard Mathieu de Lavore the Fourth.
hmm, I think we have another Derek here. As she presents her hand.
And judging by your appearance as you exited the building, I have to say, you cleaned up well, friend of the underground.
Well, this is what I used to look like before the former Alexandria found me.
And what a lovely being.
Yes, isn't she just a doll?
I wouldn't quite go as far to call her a doll, but certainly beautiful.
Hmm.
So your plan is for the two of you, two young individuals going into the snake's den by yourselves, unaccompanied, on a social call without previous arrangements made.
When you call Charlotte young, she kind of raises an eyebrow at you, like, excuse me?
She looks right back at you.
Takes the young woman statement as a compliment. But yes, we are simply visiting. It's merely a social call. I have a curiosity.
Well, you know what they say about that in cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the very least, you should not go alone.
Oh
It's
well,
dangerous out there.
I would be honored by your company, cousin.
She offers you a slight curtsy.
Pretty thing. Shall we, lady?
Like, yeah.
Charlotte will actually, if Ray wants to lay down in the back seat, Ray can do that. And she will offer Madeline the front seat, passenger side, to her.
She will definitely take a shotgun.
Okay. And Charlotte will actually turn off the child locks on the back seat of her car, in case something bad happens and Ray needs to flee. 'Cause you never know. And so I suppose we will make our way to wherever the Setites hold court, or whatever it is Setites do. Evan.
All right. As you drive through the city streets at night, you will enter into the outskirts of the city, which is large swaths of large swaths of rural areas and business parks.
Mm-hmm.
Until you come, until you take a side road that leads off, veering towards the airport. The
Okay.
Setites have a rather large domain to themselves, but then again, they tend to keep themselves to themselves very much.
Mm-hmm.
However, if anyone here would like to make me an intelligence streetwise roll,
I know.
I
I can do that.
I can do that too. It's not much, but it's 4 dice. Could somebody roll 4 dice for me, please?
All right.
Thank you. I do appreciate it so much.
That's 2 for you. And 1 for me.
3 for me.
all right, there is a very large club that was a former warehouse that serves the airport that has since been converted. It is simply called Venom. It's a very, very obvious name. However, it also serves the Setites' need, both their need for warm flesh and their need for, well, other amenities.
Okay. In which case, I will like to park like maybe a block away, and we will walk over there.
When she hears and kind of recognizes this place, she goes, and she kind of straightens up a little bit, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't look like, well, this kind of me right now. Yeah. She takes a moment to think, and should do you need to keep rolling for every mask you put on, Evan?
Yes. Remember, you also need to spend blood to increase your appearance, because you will have appearance 0 in any mask you have, unless you spend blood to increase it.
No, I typically do. So, yep,
Oh,
Before we go in, um, actually, no, I'll wait till we get over there before I do that. Actually, no. Mm, what kind of role would it be to know if I could use disciplines in the Setite's domain?
you have no idea.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna risk it. Never mind.
1, 2, 3. So that's 2 successes. So I have a relatively good control over this mask. And I'm going to put 4 blood into it, putting me down to 6.
Okay. So,
Fan.
as you approach the club itself, the doors yawn wide, almost like a gaping maw. People spill in and out. You will see several of them crushing a small red stone that they then snort. If any of you have any familiarity with the drug scene in Dublin, that is a substance called cult.
I do not.
Oh, could I make a roll to kind of figure out what it does? I'm assuming it's some type of probably stimulant.
Make me your intelligence family apathy roll, and I'm skill you to get that.
Yes, I do. That's my specialty.
2 seconds.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 successes.
Cult is a very powerful variant of methamphetamine.
Oh Jesus.
Mm. And with my connections a little bit with the underworld, would I be aware that somewhat it's popular within the streets, or more just this specific area?
It's popular all over Dublin.
Okay.
It's
Mm.
endemic. It's corrosive. It's a terrible, terrible drug.
She actually thinks upon this, and she kind of thinks of her past doings with her particular gang friends. Like, I don't think they ever asked if they made this, and really looking at it now and seeing the results, like, I don't think I ever would want to. So she just kind of shakes her head in a bit of disgust. That stuff shouldn't be fed to people. Shouldn't be fed to anybody.
Good to know. I'll definitely stay away from it. Thank you.
And we're saying hi again. Why? Just to put that out there.
I mean, I was just out of curiosity. I mean, want to go?
Well, I don't know how you guys do things here, but I know it's typically impolite to arrive at somebody's house, without asking ahead of time.
Darlings, you've both walked into the door, me included. If we were to leave now, we would be even more rude.
I'm sure they get people checking out all the time.
So is there like uh, a velvet rope that we have to stand behind?
No,
Okay. Um, I'd like to. This is probably really, really risky. Actually, can I activate heightened senses sight? I'd like to see who's breathing and who isn't.
you could just activate Oversight.
Aura sight. All right. So that would be 3 dice, difficulty 5. I will burn a willpower though for it. I want to see where the vampires are, where they are not.
That's 2 successes plus your willpower, so 3.
Okay. Thanks.
Currently, there are no vampires in this room. There are ghouls, though.
Lots of ghouls.
Quite a few. Most of the bar staff.
Most of the bar staff. Okay. Um. So, does Madeline have Blush of Health by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That makes things a little bit easier. Um. So, what kind of music is playing? I'm gonna go dance.
It is very kind of heavy goth industrial, because this is where the darkness game.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, Charlotte's gonna go dance.
Um, though Ray feels that she's somewhat dressed appropriately for the occasion. She feels obviously out of her skin here. And she does her best, kind of looking around the crowd, feeling the room here. I like to make a mimicry roll to just kind of blend in with the crowd and just more or less feel like I should belong here by being like somebody else.
Alright.
How many floors are in this place?
I was just about to get to that, too.
Okay.
That's 4 successes. So, despite her few moments of fear and indecisiveness, all of a sudden she focuses on one particular individual that seems to be highly in tune with the scene, seems to be enjoying themselves and having a grand old time. And she watches that person for about 5 to 10 minutes, and she begins uncannily acting just like them, and now begin talking to the crowd that's nearby, and even maybe flirting with a person or two, like she's supposed to be there.
Okay.
Madeline will make her way to the bar.
Bartender is this young lady who looks up at you, and she looks you up and down, and she nods before she'll say, "What can I get you?"
Well, I'm escorting 2 young and adventurous individuals who would like to meet some, well, purveyors of vice in our world.
There was some big powwow earlier. They were all downstairs. Apparently, some kind of big wig has arrived. He's upstairs if they want lights.
Would you be willing to see if they are up for receiving guests?
Sure. You see,
Thank
she hops out from behind the bar. She walks around the side, hops. Basically, there's like a 2 or 3 steps that she has to walk. That she has to walk down to get, because the bar is on a high. It's on a high point, so she can look down at you and put drinks down onto the bar. So she walks down before she will head up a very obviously corrugated iron spiral staircase that leads up from when this place used to be a warehouse. At which
Gives me.
point, about 5 minutes later, she sat me down. She says, "He'll see you. I'm going to give you some advice. Your friends should watch what they say."
I'm here to watch what they say. Not necessarily to prevent anything, but to observe. But I will make sure that they know to be on their best behavior. And she'll pull like three, whatever the equivalent of $60 would be. I forget what currency Ireland is on, but she'll offer that up to the young bartender.
Okay. She nods. She smiles. She kind of stuffs it into her cleavage. But she gestures with her head towards the stairway.
Madeline will turn around, and upon seeing, or she'll kind of walk over to Charlotte and Ray. Come along, children. I've managed to arrange a meeting.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So Ray sees a little bit distracted and kind of goes, "What? Oh, well, we." And she looks back to the people she's talking to and kind of waves them away.
So I should warn the both of you. You're about to meet someone of the clan, and you are both highly recommended to be on your best behavior.
Of course.
I said, "Will do." I know right now, if we weren't like where we are, I'd be really high right now. So I am feeling a little, maybe lightheaded. Yeah.
And Madeline will lead them upstairs.
Alrighty, okay. As you step upstairs, you are going to be met by an individual who's dressed in a black business suit. He's very obviously Middle Eastern. Charlotte, under your oversight, because you still have it up, he is definitely a kindred.
Mm-hmm. What is
And
I have 3 successes. So I don't necessarily know if I can see what
you know,
his.
you know his dominant emotion, which is calm.
Okay. That's good for us.
Petro Pascal, go fuck yourself.
I
What?
love that man.
But yeah, no, that's entirely life valid. He leads you down. And there's a large kind of. It's not a throne by any means, but it's a large kind of seating space, essentially, that's been
Mhm.
built up. And there's a large hookah pipe that is seated on it, and you see there are 2 or 3 individuals standing around it. As you see, here we go. This individual is seated in the chair.
Okay.
He has this shisha pipe in his hand, and you see him just exhale through his nostrils a plume of smoke as you walk towards him. You see the man bows very, very deeply and says something. He then looks at you expectantly.
Ah, Charlotte will bow very deeply to him, and she just simply says, "A pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Charlotte Monroe of Clan Toreador. I do apologize for the spontaneity of our visit, and I do apologize for arriving unannounced in your domain. I had a strong curiosity that I wished to state, with your permission, of course."
Madeline will kind of nudge Ray.
And she kind of goes, "Oh, I wasn't trying to speak unless I was spoken to." Ray Dominique, she is all smiles right now, looking at the man, and said, and bows her head. Said, "Clan Nosferatu." Yeah. And and she places goes into her pocket and places her pendant onto on onto onto her chest. It's a child heir of Alexandria, Gold Soul.
And Madeline will approach and offer a very vintage bow and offer out her hand to this individual, keeping her head low, her posture low.
He doesn't take the hand. He leans in very close and smells it. Like it's almost like he scented it, but he leans back again.
Madeline Bedu, blah, blah, blah. Madeline Bedu Rabilia Mercure de la Voix the Fourth.
For the record, his aura is nearly entirely, once again, calm. However, interestingly enough, our dear, for our dear Charlotte, when he smelt her hand, there was definitely a flash of interest for a split second before it was subsumed by his calm.
Interesting. Okay. I wonder why.
You stand, the gentleman says, who led you up, in the presence of Lord Sarroquet. He looks at you. He has slits for irises, so very snake-like, and his tongue, when it flicks out of his mouth, is forked. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Um, well, um, for my part, Charlotte will say it was mere curiosity. I had not seeked out the Setite presence in Dublin, and I was curious to know because I do not believe that in all of my years I had ever met a Setite. And so, with your permission, of course, I was wondering about you, what you're like.
The eyes appear somewhat like there's a momentary flash of confusion in the aura. It's like, huh?
Hmm. Um, but yes, it was um Charlotte will actually gesture toward, is there like somewhere we can sit, perhaps?
No, he is purposely leaving you standing.
Okay. Um, what about the people with the hookah?
The hookah is on a table in front of him.
Okay. Um,
It's a small kind of coffee table.
okay. But yes,
For the record, if anyone is interested, he is just smoking flavored tobacco.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Could you type out his name for me in the chat for me, Evan? I don't want to butcher this.
It's actually pretty simple.
Okay. Lord Sarkat, what you see before you is a young rose whose curiosity has gotten her into a bit of trouble in the past, but keeps her optimism at an all-time high despite everything that is going on in the city. And the young Nosferatu along for the ride? Well,
yeah, she
I
was.
nearly would not have to inform anyone of such a high standing that the Nosferatu are always thirsty for knowledge. I myself simply wish to make sure that these two behave themselves and comport themselves in a way that is keeping with the traditions of the Ivory Tower, and especially that of Clan Toreador.
He appears to contemplate for a few moments before he says, truths are truths, lies are lies. Who says that this is so? The truth is an opinion, a lie perspective. To understand that is to understand Set. That is so. You came here to see with your eyes. Well, you have seen. You came here to learn with your senses. Your senses have experience. So, he leans languidly forward in his chair. Why are you still here?
What does his aura look like now?
Hungry.
Oh boy. Hmm. This is more of a social visit, more than anything, as I said. Was merely curious. Perhaps you could find it in your heart to maybe tell me or us, if it suits you, a little more about that.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I said if uh if it suits you, perhaps you could tell me or us, if you wish, a little more about Set.
He smiles and he says, do you really seek to learn?
Yes, I believe I do.
Okay, hang on. This is where I take it none of you have Auspex 6.
No.
Okay. What happens? This is gonna get pretty interesting. I have to make some dice rolls.
Okay. If he's reading my thoughts, I'm not lying. I'm actually really curious.
No. This has nothing to do with your thoughts.
Okay.
You will see him give I will give you something. You will see him give a tiny flick of the hand.
Oh boy.
Um, oh, right. Yeah, this might for a little bloodbath because of course he will.
Oh
He's
shit.
getting flanked. -2 death. He does not have a specialty in this. Alright, so he gets 2 successes. It's not great. He is going to spend for his potence.
I don't like this. Hey Evan.
That's gonna be... Give me just 2 seconds, please.
Okay.
8.
I get the feeling the word yoink is about to be uttered.
4. A stake is plunged into Charlotte's back with 8 successes for damage.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Nope.
Great.
He's gonna teach you about Set the best way possible.
Oh no, man. Okay. Okay. All right. This is special. Am I about to be heartless, like literally?
No,
Oh boy.
you are about to be bloodbath to a Set, I think.
Ah, fuck me.
All right. So for those of you, okay, I take you don't have the ability to soak. It would be, hang on. How much legal damage can you in theory soak with
I
your
have
42 stamina and any armor you may have?
I am not wearing any armor, so I can soak 3.
Okay, yeah. The snake plunges straight into you.
Great.
So Charlotte immediately falls into torpor.
Mm.
For those of you, you will see.
God damn it.
You will see. I'm getting a picture. 1 moment. By God, she has a picture. There we go. I appear to have lost the godforsaken picture. Oh no, here it is. You see, this woman has basically just plunged a stake into Charlotte's chest.
Can you like move closer to the microphone because it's like you're kind of muffled for me.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You see this woman, she was basically plunged a stake into Charlotte's chest. Charlotte immediately falls into torpor.
Yay.
Madeline is just going to like.
Oh, sorry, one second. If it helps, you're gonna get access to awesome snake powers.
I mean that's
Madeline-
that's kind of a consolation prize, I gotta say.
Madeline is going to simply point at Ray to make sure that she doesn't move. Stay there.
Ray, yeah, she gets very stiff now. She-
You see Lord Sauer. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Perhaps it's best that, as long as our host give you leave, for you to step outside.
Sarakat smiles. What is Ray's current total? What is Ray's current willpower points?
7.
Okay, so he has enchanting voice, so he's doing this at diff 5. I love how enchanting voice does that.
Wait, that shit works with presence?
It is a
No.
really
He's using dominate.
it is a really broken fucking merit.
I fucking love it.
Me too. It is so good. Especially for my character profession.
His 10 does double. So basically, what he says is he starts to talk to Ray, and the last thing that Ray will remember, you will remember this scene entirely differently. You basically had a conversation with the Setites. He talked to you a little bit about theology, about the nature of Set, and then you all peacefully left. At which point, Colin basically said that you'd have to get your own ride home. But the Setites were kind enough to see you out, but were kind enough to have a car provided for you and everything. He rewrites your memory practically entirely of this entire event.
Okay, and he spoke to that, right? Because I know sometimes, depending on, I guess, interpretation, the rewriting can be as simple as speaking the memories into their mind, or it takes like a few minutes. So I just want to know, just for RP's sake.
I've always done it like, have you ever seen Men in Black?
So you're speaking those words to me, whether it's mentally or physically, and those are the memories that I have.
Yeah, and your brain basically makes up the padding for the rest of it. Basically, your brain pads out the details.
Okay.
But yeah, you just had a thoroughly pleasant evening.
Okay.
So what will happen is, he then looks at Sarakat has very inhuman eyes, as I said, and he looks towards the fellow Toreador and simply smiles, and he says, I think a lesson is in order.
You would not be wrong, Lord. Though I would ask, may I be the one to teach it?
He looks down and he gestures with his finger as Colin's as Charlotte's body is hefted up and brought just before his face. He strokes the face softly with his hand, which is very long nails, as he says, "Son, you will be their teacher."
You are too kind. And I hope that perhaps you'd find this one an interesting tidbit about this little one's activities as of late. And she begins to trail her fingers along Charlotte's arm. Everything that you are here for in the city, you have her to thank for.
I'm gonna eat you.
I will eat your heart.
I'm gonna fucking eat you.
Calm down, my dear. It would appear as though we have killed two birds in a single stone, with a single stone. I always approve when it is that this occurs. But yes, you may teach her. Awaken her in 3 nights hence, and begin what will be an interesting, or actually 2 nights hence, and begin what will be no doubt an interesting process.
She has a good bit of enthusiasm. Decision making perhaps is a bit to be desired, but I do see potential in her. And if she can be made a respectable toreador in the eyes of the Ivory Tower, all the more better, wouldn't you say?
There's a nod before he leans back in his chair and continues to smoke his hookah. I think that that's a good place to end it. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another Scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.